20 on me, case emergency. Ain't no cap in my rap. Real I know it's the truck. More profit mean extra. Emerald white out full of pressure. That cereal milk smoking right. But that Obama rent some special. Kansas City, I'm a chief. Shout out to K5 on new one. Country thuggin', I was hustling. I always had it on me. Booming like OJ the Juice. Till a nigga told on me. From now on, it's relentless. Ain't no love, we ain't friendly. If she want me on him. No the law, she get the business. Yeah. No the law, still the motto. Empire.
Go. Hey, hello. Welcome in. This is your boy Q City. You know, I do the Birds of a Feather podcast. I brag a lot about the type of betting I'm doing, but then again, I'm just a casual bettor. Let me introduce somebody who actually does this thing. You know, somebody who really knows what they're talking about. And if you don't know, you learn from the pros. So this is my man, Greg. And what's up, man? Just tell these people a little about yourself, man.
What's going on, bro? What's going on, Q? So I'm Greg, man. Father of three with one on the way.
Congrats.
Married. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Married, of course. The betting thing, it really started about a year and a half ago. Literally ran into a friend playing 2K for some money. And, we're gambling on, playing with each other. And, he's putting in bets on games. And I'm like, okay, I've heard about that, but I've never even gotten into it. So, he put me onto the Bovada platform, which I'm sure a lot of people are aware of. And then ever since then, I just never looked back. I'm a sports guy, played basketball in high school at Decula High School in Gwinnett County, Georgia.
North side.
Just always, yeah, North side for sure. You already know how that goes. North side for sure, man. But yeah, definitely a big better. Sports is like for all of us, it's like a safe place for a lot of us. So been betting seriously for about a year and a half. And definitely had to get away from, betting on your favorite teams because that never works, people. Just to let y'all know, if you bet on the team you want to win, you're probably not gonna win. You gotta go a little deeper than that.
See, something that I've fallen into and understood about because the Birds of a Feather, shameless plug podcast that I do, it's about the Falcons and Hawks, and I've kind of gotten away from just betting the straight lines on the game and get toward props because something I've understood, as you get deeper into betting, that if you bet on your team and your team lose, you feel doubly bad. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you feel extra bad.
It's just all bad all around.
Yep.
You mentioned bubbly platform and Bobly, I mean, and one of the
Bovada.
my bad. And one of the things that I talked about in a previous pod was the fact that in retaliation to the anti-voting restriction laws, Democrats blocked the whole online gambling platform in Georgia, and so it made it harder for people in Georgia to bet mobily. Could you talk about the app a little and how it's helped you kind of circumvent that?
Oh, definitely. So I actually have two different platforms that I bet off of. So I bet off of Bovada LV, which is obviously based out of Las Vegas, I guess you could say. And depending on what state you're in, what the rules are. So like you said, Georgia, they don't allow it. But to keep it 100, I live in Georgia. My address is in Georgia. My bank account is in Georgia. And I bet on Bovada and I get my money with no problems. Cryptocurrency plays a big part in that. When I use Bovada, I'm using Bitcoin to send my money in to load up. And if I would like to withdraw, I also use Bitcoin. Some people are using Ethereum, if I'm saying that right.
Mm-hmm. Ethereum.
Some people,
you got it.
Ethereum. Some people are using other cryptocurrencies. Now there's another platform that I'm using, which is called pickyuraction.com. And these guys are really good. I mean, they are a lot more simple than Bovada. It's easier to load your money, easier to cash out. And us bettors, we know how it is, right? If it works, it works. We don't really talk too much about it. But definitely if you need somewhere to place your bets and you need somewhere where it's easy to pull your money off, load your money on, just get with me. I'm _ the middleman on Instagram. I'm Gregory Antoine on Facebook. Just DM me. I'll be more than happy to shoot you over one of the better betting platforms that I use with Pick Your Action. You know, for us that bet every day, we know how important it is to get your bets in every day, if that makes sense. So just hit me up and I definitely will
Absolutely.
link you in on that.
Absolutely. Gonna be out like losing money if you're not able to get those bets in. And I'll
Exactly.
make sure to link his Instagram and his Facebook in the bio of the video, in the bio of this pod. So let me ask you, just as you said, you've been betting for about a year and a half now. Do you see this as a viable business or just something, fun to do, hang around type thing? Where do you see yourself going with this?
So I'm gonna keep it 100. When I started to bet, obviously this is like everybody, right? You want to hit the lottery every day. You want to hit the lottery. Oh, I'm gonna bet 4 teams. I'm gonna put $50 down and make $3,000 on 4 teams. It's you might as the way I see it. If you're gonna go that route, if you want to hit the lottery every day, you might as well go buy scratch offs. You might as well go play the Powerball. You might as well just go do that. Something I've learned in the last year and a half. It can be a business. It can be profitable. It has been profitable for me. Literally, like I started out taking touchdown plays. Like when I say touchdown plays, I'm talking about taking 3 underdogs and 2 favorites on a parlay and just praying that it happened versus actually doing the research, actually looking at what other sports bettors are taking. The people that you can't stand that likes the team that your team is playing against. Take what they have to say into consideration because they might have, they might know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how you want to look at it. I definitely think it could be profitable. It's been profitable for me. Um, Especially when you take the feelings out of it. I had a friend one time that told me I bet with emotion too much, meaning like if the Knicks are playing somebody, I'm like the Knicks can't lose to the Pistons. I'm taking the Knicks money line, right? And then it always happens, right? You look at the game you're playing and you're like, wait, why is Julius Randle not playing? What? He's out with COVID. What? I didn't see that. Betting with emotion and not actually doing your research, right? So now the Pistons are up by 20 in the third quarter because the Knicks star player is out. Just giving an example, you know what I'm saying?
And
Um,
that's 100% there. 100% is the whole taking the emotion out and truly just looking at it with logic, like it's a business transaction.
exactly.
I 100% agree with you. I think for my own personal, sanity, I try to just keep it fun. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh,
for people
definitely,
for
definitely.
people I see out there who really are doing it, really understand the business of it, and that's why definitely wanted to sit down and talk to you. It's just real interesting to see how y'all mind works a lot on basically the whole betting thing as a business, betting thing as something real, as something viable. You mentioned a couple words, and just for the audience, and hell, even myself, I just want to kind of get some clarity on it. When you say betting on the money line, what does that mean?
So betting on money line is simply saying who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. It's that simple. Money line. Meaning, you might have Browns playing the Giants, and the spread might be you favored for the Browns to win by 8 points. Those might be different odds, right? But if you're betting on money line, it doesn't matter who wins by how many points. It doesn't matter how many points are scored. Money line is simply who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. So, example for tonight, Texas Tech plays. Who do they play?
You got who they play tonight? Hello, there we go. Yeah, you're back in. I can hear you now. No, you're back out again. Did you put the AirPods back in?
Yeah, I got the AirPods in now.
All right, there we go. I can hear you now.
We're back.
Yep, we're back.
All right,
So you
cool.
said Texas
All
play
right, yeah.
Texas Tech play too?
Texas Tech plays. Give me a second. I apologize. Trying to load it up here, but yeah, definitely taking Texas Tech money line tonight. They are favored to win by 2.5 today, but we all know how basketball can get, right? Layup, missed free throws, foul outs, technical fouls. I'm taking the money line. Who are they playing? Let me see here. Let me go in here and double check this. You got Texas Tech playing Providence. That's who it is. Good school, very well coached. Providence. Neither of the teams are ranked, I think, but definitely taking Texas Tech money line. They're playing away. They have a really good team, so I'm taking the money line. So it doesn't matter if they win by 5, if they win by 3, if they lose, but whatever. If they lose, my money's gone. If they win, I'm getting my money.
And that to me is, just kind of the handshake type bets that you make it work. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's making on the Georgia Alabama
Right.
game this weekend, where it's like, hey, nah, man, like
Right.
no points. It's the championship game, just straight up Georgia Alabama. But when you get into the more technical aspects, you mentioned the word like the spread. What does that mean for the casual better?
So for the spread, so let's just take Texas Tech game, for example. Texas Tech is, supposed to beat Providence by 2 points. The spread for Texas Tech is -2, meaning they should win by 2 points. They should win by a layup. They should win by 2 free throws, right? So let's say I take Texas Tech -2 today. Let's say I took that bet. If Texas Tech is winning by 2 points and Providence magically makes a free throw in between that time and Providence loses by 1 point today, the -2 bet for Texas Tech will not hit. I will not get paid. The spread, you have to win by more than the spread. So Texas Tech will have to win by 3 points for you to be able to win that bet.
And I think
-2 if Texas Tech.
no, I was gonna say, and that
Go
part
ahead.
right there is absolutely key because if it's a wash, the money goes to the house.
So let me tell you. So with Bovada, this is what I like about sports betting as well. So with Bovada and PickYourAction.com, the other betting platform that I use, if you take Texas Tech -2 tonight versus Providence, and Texas Tech magically wins by 2 points exactly, you won't lose your money that you put. Let's say you put 200 on the game. You will not lose the $200. The $200 will be credited back to you because it happened, right? You bet that they would win by more than 2. They won exactly by 2. They will give you your money that you bet. You will not win any profit, but you will win your money. Now, if it's 1 point, you're not getting paid. It's not going to happen.
See that, and that's a perfect breakdown right there of just how technical in the aspects of betting can get. So when you look at something, you mentioned college basketball right there. If we were to bring it to the NBA, what kind of things do you look for as you're about to make your bet on a league game?
So on a league, on a professional league game, these are the things I look for personally. First off, you always got to take this into account. You always have to take this. Who is playing at home and who's playing away? We all like to think it doesn't matter, right? Everybody likes to think, oh, it doesn't matter when you're playing. I used to play basketball in high school and I played better away and blah, 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 blah. The team at home is going to have the advantage no matter what. Why? They practice at the facility. They're at the facility. Their fans are at the game. Their wife is at the game. Their cousin's at the game. Their girlfriend's at the game. They know the rims, the crowd energy and things like that. So the first thing I always look at is who's at home. The second thing I like to look at is injuries. I mean, simply just injuries. Who's injured, who's playing, who's not injured. The third thing I like to look at are the previous game played. So you got to think. You might have a game. This is not a game tonight. I'm just going to throw this out there. Matter of fact, we are going to do this. Let's go with last night's game. Let's go Suns versus Warriors. Okay. Warriors, I want to say were playing their second or third back-to-back. I want to say second back-to-back game. Suns were well rested, right?
Mm-hmm.
Suns were at home. Suns also were rested, right? And Suns also And Suns also were going into the game with no injuries. Now, we all know Devin Booker got injured, right? We all know that. He got injured, I want to say midway through second quarter. But you got to think, Suns are at home. I think they had a day or two rest, and they're playing the second best team in the West. I took Suns money line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit here and say that's the only reason why I took the money line, but they're at home. Nobody's injured, right? It's a smart bet to take. You know what I'm saying? So I always look at who's playing at home. I always look at injuries, and I always looked at what games have they played in the past, whether it was the day before or 2 days before, if they played that team before. Because if you guys don't know, Warriors and Suns play again Friday. It's going to be a great game, and it's supposed to be in Oakland.
See, so right there, that's professional betting. That's that mindset that most casual bettors like myself. I consider myself a casual bettor, although I am hitting 62% on my NBA bet. I consider myself a
Which is really
casual
good,
bettor.
bro. Which is really 62% is amazing in this world, okay?
Yeah, no.
That's
You
good.
can't give me too much because I'm 43% on my NFL picks, and I love football more than basketball. And the thing about it is, I do exactly what you talk about. Like you have that mindset if you played the game and you try to apply your own knowledge to the bets, and it's not the case.
Yeah, got to.
But so if we're going to look at some games, just run through some for tomorrow night. We got the Pistons at the Suns. And
Okay.
like you said, Devin Booker's out. If you look at that game, because I looked up the odds, it doesn't have a line. Why do you think that is?
So the reason why I don't think there's a line on that game, I'm pretty sure everyone, including my mom, you know how you know the saying, everybody and their mama, right? So I think everyone, and my mom included, who doesn't watch sports and knows the Suns are going to blow this game out. They're going to cover whatever the spread they decide to put. They're going to win. They're playing the Detroit Pistons, one of the worst teams in the league right now. The Pistons literally have two youngins running their offense. It's Kate Cunningham and Killian Hayes. I love them both. They're both great players, right? I
And
can't beat
Killian's
those
just
guys one
coming
on
back
one.
from injury, right?
And he's just coming back from injury, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, he's just coming back from injury, and you got to understand these guys are great basketball players. Greg Antoine cannot beat these guys one on one, but they're not playing against me. They're playing against Chris Paul, Cameron Payne, who's been in the league. What I can't say it off the top of my head. What 4 or 5
6
years,
years. 6
right?
years.
Campaign, yeah, 6 years. Campaign is a monster, and he's the backup point guard, right? So you got these two young guys that are starting at the 1 and 2 for the Pistons. Their star players, Jeremy Grant. They just lost 5 games in a row, as the Suns just won 5 games in a row. I think Devin Booker tweeted earlier, "No loss November." Like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a blowout game. Teams like the Suns, they're at home. They have an injury, but they're like the top team right now. Teams like that play not better, but they play just as good when they're losing their best player, which I personally think Chris Paul is the best player, but scoring is a big factor. Devin Booker is their best player. They're not going to miss Devin Booker. I think you should look to see Cameron Payne getting more minutes, Cam Johnson playing the 3 maybe. So if Cam Payne doesn't get more minutes, I think Cam Johnson will play the 3 more, and Kaminsky might get some minutes. He might get some extra minutes. If you guys don't know Frank Kaminsky, great basketball player. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But I
Frank
think he
Tank.
may get more minutes, and yeah, Frank the Tank, and you may see Cam Johnson move to that 3 spot where he's shooting more threes, guarding more people. And who are they guarding? They're playing the Pistons. No offense to the Pistons fans, but who do they really have to guard, right? The
Now,
Suns,
see,
if they
I'm gonna
win
tell you. You
tomorrow,
said no offense to the Pistons fans. Now, I'm a Hawks fan first and foremost, but I started watching
right.
basketball heavy in '03, that year that they beat the Lakers in the championship. So
The
I
Lakers.
got a special place for the Pistons. But God, they're terrible
I
this year.
hated the
They're,
Pistons. Myself, bro. Let me tell you about the Pistons. I was the guy, I was the dude, I was the kid. I can say kid, right? 2003. Yeah, I was a kid back then, right? So 2003, I was the kid that hated the Pistons in real life. But when they came down to NBA Live, go-to team, bro. You got to
oh,
think.
got to,
You got Chauncey
got to.
Billups. You got Rip Hamilton. You got Tayshaun Prince. You got Rasheed and Ben Wallace. You got Lindsey Hunter off the bench. Come on, man. One of the best teams. Like when you say team, you know what I'm saying? When you think of a basketball team, man, one of the best teams to ever play. One of
Yeah,
the
they talk
best
about
teams
no
to ever do it.
definable superstar, but hey, sometimes it's the sum of the parts, right?
Oh man, Mr. Big Shot was the man. Chauncey Billups was that guy back then. I'm sorry. Like they say they didn't have a star, but Chauncey Billups was him. He was the guy. You know what I mean? He was the guy. Rip Hamilton, was coming off of screens. Tayshaun Prince was the hustle man. You got Ben and Rasheed down there causing all types of drama. But I would say Chauncey Billups was the star of that team. And it just sucks that the Suns are not playing them tomorrow. Cause the Suns, you know what I'm saying, bro? The Suns are literally about to record the best start in franchise history. They're going for 18 wins. They're tied right now. 2007, they won 17 in a row, and they're tied with that right now. They tied it last night, and tomorrow I almost guarantee they're gonna win, and they're gonna have an 18 game winning streak in a season that's gonna beat the franchise record. And it just says a lot to why there's no line, bro. It's gonna be a blowout. If I were making a lines, I would put it at -10, -15 maybe, just because the Suns. I just don't see them losing tomorrow. Not at home against the Pistons.
And for just the every normal everyday person, 10 points in an NBA game is damn near disrespectful. Like that's
It's
that's
very
like that's
disrespectful.
like 14 points in an NFL game, basically. Just the idea that like we're so much better than you. Like so if
Yeah,
I did want to bet on this
definitely.
game, if I did want to bet on this game, you would have to go to like prop bets. Me personally, I like the combos, the points, rebounds, assists, or the steals and blocks, steals, rebounds, those type things. They got CP3 points, assists, and rebounds over under at 30 and a half. What would you take there and why?
30 and a half points, rebounds, and assists.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say he gets 10, 10, and 10. So here's why I think this is tough. With Chris Paul, it's tough because he has the ball so much. But uh, so I'm gonna say this: half of me, half. This is a good one. This is the first one, and it's good. So look, like 70% of me wants to take. Look, 70% of me wants to take the over on that, only because it's Chris Paul. If you watch what he did last night, he literally took over the game without taking over the game, right? He got everybody involved. He's hitting big shots. He's crossing dudes over almost for no reason. I mean, he's like crossing dudes over for fun almost. I forgot who he crossed over late. I think it
Wasn't it
was it
Poole?
Looney or was it might have been Poole. I want to say it was a big man though. Was it the big guy that shoots a lot that kept missing yesterday? Bielitsa? I think he
Oh,
cropped
yeah,
man, or
yeah,
was
yeah,
it
yeah.
Looney?
If it's a
I
white
mean,
dude, it's
a
Belize.
clutch mid range. Yeah, yeah. Bielitsa, white dude. Clutch mid range crossover jump shot for no reason, right? We can all see Chris Paul having 10, 10, and 10 tomorrow easily. But that's 70% of me wants to take the over. But the other 30%, which I'm actually stronger, I actually feel more confident in the under on that, only because they're playing the Pistons. I don't see Chris Paul playing the fourth quarter, honestly. I just don't see it.
Exactly.
I see him
Exactly.
I see him playing like the end of the third, and then in the fourth, it's campaign show, and Chris Paul's back there chilling, like, yo, campaign, man, you go. Let's get Shaman in there. Let's get him some open threes. Like I almost like Shaman over 15 points before I like Chris Paul over the 30 for the prop bet for the points, rebound, assist. I just don't see the Suns playing the whole. I just don't see the starters playing the whole game.
See, and that's I've got bit a couple times on Trey this year, um, playing against OKC. You know, his points, rebound,
I
assists
love
over
and hate. I love and hate Trey Young so much. But keep going.
his points, rebounds, assists was set at like 34, and he barely covered it. He was barely covering it going into the fourth. The Hawks ended up giving up a late lead, and the Thunder closed it to, I want to say, 8, and they put him back in, and he covered and he hit. But like under normal circumstances, Trey had no reason to go back into that game, and he wouldn't have covered. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I feel like that's a problem against a lot of the bad teams in the league, the Pacers, the Magic, Detroit, like we're talking about here, is that when you have starters and it gets to a blowout, there's no reason for them to go back in. They don't care about our prop bets. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly. And I always say that, bro. That's like the line you just, bro, what you just said is so real. These guys don't care that I bet on the game. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the over, right?
nah, not at all.
it's it's funny to think about it sometimes, but it's like, bro, what if these guys knew what we had on the game, right? Would they try, right?
Well, see, that to me is the huge moral implications that everybody has a problem with when it comes to gambling and how it could infiltrate the game. You know, everybody remembers Tim Donahue, whatever. You know his name. You know what I'm saying about like betting on the
Yeah,
game. Um,
yeah,
but to be honest, man, it's too much money for the players. Like there's no odds or bet that you're gonna get that could rectify you doing anything in a game because the average NBA salary is $7.5, $7.5 million. That's the average salary. You know
yep,
what I'm saying?
yep,
And I
yep.
had a stat that I said on the show a couple weeks ago about the fact that there's 450 league players, and the bottom 100 get churned out pretty much are in rotation every year. You know what I'm saying? But 350 of those
Mm-hmm.
players remain the same. So like if you get seven and the average NBA career is about people talk about NFL being so short, but the average NBA career is only 4.5 years. You know what I'm saying? That's taken into account like LeBron James and the dude who only plays like 6 games. So the average is four and a
Right.
half years. But if you make 7.5 million for 4.5 years, that's what
It's 30,
15,
damn
30,
near 30 million.
yeah, 30,
Yeah.
30 and some change, 33 and a half. Like you're good. You know what I'm saying? It's no amount of bet that's going to suffice you doing that. So like when I kind of hear the argument against betting that like it would hurt the integrity of the game, there's too much money in there for the players to even go down that route in my eyes.
No, and I agree with you 100%. Like I agree with you 100%. So you got to think, right? I don't know how many people like watch movies and fun stuff like that, but like Uncut Gems is a great movie. One of my favorite movies, not just because I gamble, but I love Adam Sandler, right? I love Kevin Garnett. Like Kevin Garnett is one of my favorite players ever, right? Emotion, right? He plays with all of it. That movie, that movie really puts you in a perspective like these dudes really are out here trying to compete no matter what. There's a scene in the movie where Adam Sandler is betting on he has a parlay in and he's trying to tell Kevin Garnett they have your over under of rebounds of 11 points or something like 11 rebounds or something. And Adam Sandler's like, these guys really don't think you can get 11 rebounds, bro. Like, you know, I feel like that part of it is real. Like, you got coaches, you got teammates that are like coming up to Steph Curry, like, hey, bro, just so you know, like, okay, when the Warriors played the Nets, I bet against the Warriors that night. I was sick when when the Nets lost, but I bet against the Warriors. And I know for a fact there was guys on the team like, yo, Steph, you know they got us the underdogs tonight, right? We on like
That's
a
the
6 game
whole
winning streak. They got
concept
us the
of an
underdog.
underdog comes from betting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the whole
Exactly.
concept of an underdog
Exactly.
comes from betting.
There would be no excitement without betting on the games, right? There will be no excitement. Do you think these think about it, man? Like I've been a Knicks fan. I can't believe I just said that on live. No, I'm joking. Now look, I've been a Knicks fan since I was born, right? I've been a Knicks fan since I was born, bro. The one of the reasons why I started sports betting is because I was calling games and calling scores, and I'm just a fan. I'm just here. Whether we lose or win, I'm just in the shadows. I'm just here. I need a piece of that, right? I need a piece of that. Knicks won. I want some of that money. Y'all got paid. I want to get paid, right? Madison Square Garden's making all this money. I want to make some money too. That's one of the reasons why I started sports betting. I don't think sports will be the same without the betting. To be 1,000% honest with you.
And that's why I truly had the mindset that it's going to get to a point to where it's in the arenas. It's a part of just the normal lexicon because there's too much money into it, and there's too many people that share your sentiment and thinking of the mindset of just like, bro, this adds juice to the game. This gives me more of an emotional investment and connection to the team, but also it's connection to the league in total. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
NBA games in itself, because of their volume, are hard to bet on consistently unless you're like really into it, like damn near degenerate like myself. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
just like getting that type of emotional investment for the casual fan can help build the audience of the game, especially with viewership
Yeah,
declining over
definitely.
the past couple years.
That's another thing I was saying. So like even me, I love basketball. I've played my whole life. There's been a couple years in the past where I didn't watch NBA games. I didn't care as much. I watched some. I watched the Knicks. Okay, whatever. Now that I've been betting, I've been sports betting. I've been watching soccer, baseball. I'm tuning into these games because you want to see where your money, bro. You gotta see where your money's going, bro. You gotta see where it's going, right? You gotta see where your money's going, bro. And I think it's great. You mentioned that. I know you said you're Hawks, and then and a big Atlanta fan. FanDuel's coming to Ponce. It's coming to Ponce, bro. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But FanDuel's on the way. We are soon. We should be able to walk to Ponce and put a cash bet in and wait and watch the game with our friends and whatever and cash out the same day almost. Like FanDuel's coming to Ponce. So that's gonna be fun. I
It,
can't
it
wait for that.
That's exactly what I'm saying about the growth of the game. But speaking of your Knicks, they're 2-point dogs to the Bulls. What you think about that
One, I'm gonna tell you this. So this is Greg the fan coming out real quick.
game?
How can you put us at a disadvantage against a team we already beat, right? How can you do it? But it makes sense because we had a roster change. I don't know if everybody knows, but Kemba Walker, one of our biggest offseason signs, right? We signed him in the offseason. Great, crazy, big deal.
Well, see,
And
that's
he's
the
out of the
thing.
rotation right now.
I think he's big in name because for me personally, I always fuck what you say. Look at the money. In money wise, he
Yep.
he got what, eight per year, 8.5 per year.
Yep. Yep.
So the money's telling
Yep.
you that like his name's telling you that he's a big star, but the money in the market is telling you that like him as a backup point guard.
He's a backup point guard. I noticed. You want to know when I noticed Kemba Walker wasn't going to last in New York? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be 100 with you. Game one of the NBA season this year, I knew Kemba Walker was not ready to play Madison Square Garden. Can he play with us? Yes. Can he be effective? I guess. Is he gonna last? I don't think so. Game one, we're winning. We're having fun. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're up by 8 points with 1 minute left. Kemba Walker turns over the ball 2 to 3 times in the fourth quarter to Dennis Schroeder or Marcus Smart, whoever it was that was guarding him. At that point, I knew he wasn't going to last, right? He's a great player. He's a great one-on-one player. He fits with our team. But Knicks are trying to change the culture, right? We don't want to be the team that focuses on one guy because when we tried that last year, I can't believe I'm saying this, but your Hawks exposed us last year. Y'all exposed us literally. Take away Julius Randle. Toppin is scared to shoot. Alec Burks only has 2 or 3 moves to his name. Quickly wasn't the quickly he is now. You guys really exposed us last year.
And I noticed that
Now
drastically
back
in our matchup this year because Randall only had 8 points and they were able to stifle us defensively because Alec Burks and Fournier were making their shots.
exactly, bro. And what I think the Knicks did in the offseason was really address the problem. When Randall is passing out of the double team, who's catching the ball and making the decision? Let's go ahead and take Olympic. Now, I'm not going to say Olympic MVP. This is my Knicks fan coming out, right? Olympic MVP Evan Fournier, right? Olympic MVP Evan Fournier, my guy, who was torching the USA All Olympics. Bring him on, right? Let him work some magic. Hopefully, Kemba Walker could work some magic. Boost up Emmanuel Quickly's confidence. Alec Burks, shoot the ball. Stop dribbling. Stop trying to be this guy and that guy. Just shoot the ball, bro. That's what you do the best. Shoot the ball. And I think that's what the Knicks did. I think they brought in guys and kind of like, practice like, hey, look, when you get the ball, shoot it. If you miss it, who cares? But shoot the ball. You can't score if you don't shoot. Too many times in that playoff series last year, the Knicks had 24-second violations. Too many times, like way too many times. Like we gotta at least shoot the ball, bro. And that's bad when you're scared to shoot. Now you see Toppin now, right? He's shooting. He might airball. Who cares? But he's shooting the ball, right? He's running. He's running down the paint. He's running. You know what I'm saying? He's running the fast break, catching alley oops. Last year, nothing. This year, we got quickly shooting shots. But back to the Bulls, Knicks. I think the Knicks. I think the Knicks will win at home. I think the roster change is a big deal with putting in Alec Burks for Kemba Walker. It didn't work last game. We lost by 2 to the arguably the best team in the East, second best team in the East, technically, to the Nets, right? The favorite
Mhm.
team in the East, I would say. The roster change didn't work against them. Now we're at home for real. We were at home last game because we were still in New York, but now we're really at home. We already beat Bulls by 2, and I think we cover the spread. I think we win by at least 3 or 4. I think we win that game. You got to think quickly topping Burks, Randall, and Mitch Robinson as the closing 5 is a big deal. It screams defense, quick shots, and fast break opportunities. I like Derrick Rose in that mix instead of Mitchell Robinson, but I think the Knicks' last 5 are going to decide this game tomorrow.
And see, like for me personally, when I look at what Billy Donovan's doing with the Bulls, that weird ass lineup he has out there with Lonzo, Caruso, DeRozan at the no, Levine at the 3, and then DeRozan at the 4. I have no idea. Like every time I see it, I'm like, what is this man doing? You know what I'm saying? You basically got 3 shooting guards and a point out there. But for some reason, this lineup tends to work, even though they get bullied defensively. And I think the Knicks are going to be able to take advantage of that if he ever puts that lineup out against them.
And I agree with you on that. I think it's a weird lineup. Quick question: is Vucevic back tomorrow?
Yeah, he's going to
Is
be
he
he's going to be
playing?
there.
Do you know if he's?
Yeah.
I think so when you're coaching basketball, it's about like what? Like repetition and like sets and like doing the same consistency is the word I'm looking for. Like consistency. I think what Billy Donovan has been doing these past few weeks is getting the Bulls ready for what's really going to happen come playoff time, right? You're going to have Vucevic in the game who can rebound, who could defend. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't watched a lot of Magic games the past few years. I'm gonna be the first one to say, don't nobody give a fuck about the Magic. I don't know not one Magic fan, right? I didn't watch a lot of Nikola Vucevic. I didn't watch a lot of him. I didn't watch a lot of him at all. I don't know his game. But him being in Chicago, this dude rebounds, he plays defense, and he could shoot the damn ball pretty good. And I think Billy Donovan didn't want his team to get out of the loop. Like, look, bro, this is what we're going to do come playoff time. We're going to have Lonzo, Caruso, DeRozan, Levine, and Vucevic on the floor together. So whoever's playing the 5, I need these 4 to understand that we need y'all. Because Vucevic is either going to be setting the screen, crashing to the goal, or fading out to the 3. And all 5 guys can shoot 3-pointers. I don't blame Billy Donovan for playing that way. It is a weird lineup because defensively, Julius Randle will punish DeMar DeRozan as much as we want to say Julius Randle is like a fake star, whatever you want to say. He's bigger than DeMar DeRozan. He's taller than DeMar DeRozan. He's faster, I would say. He's younger, right? When you look at matchups, I
Absolutely. I
like
think that's a
Julius
terrible
Randle over
matchup.
him.
Yeah, it's a terrible matchup for
Yeah,
him.
I think it's a terrible match. I think it's a terrible matchup for the Bulls. But I think the Bulls are banking on the help defense of Caruso, right? Those under the leg, but no look passes from Caruso to Lonzo and Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's a dog, bro. He's like new school Kobe. He's not on Kobe's level, don't get me wrong, but he's like new school Kobe mindset, bro. He doesn't care if he misses a shot. Why
Absolutely. And
would you not put him with
on the wing, I don't think the Nets have not the Nets. The Knicks have anyone who could really check him on the wing.
bro? There's nobody. Listen, if I could have got, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If I could have got Zach LaVine on the Knicks, bro, I don't even think me and you will be on the phone right now. Like, like I'd be too busy like researching what they about to do tomorrow. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like Zach LaVine is just a monster. Since he came into the league, he ain't been noticed that much, but since he came into the league, I think he's been a monster. I think that game is gonna be a really good game. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and circle this. I'm gonna go ahead and put overtime on the game. I might put $50 that the game goes to overtime tomorrow, just because.
There's some juicy odds on that one. All right,
Yeah,
so moving.
I might put 50 on that.
So over unders, do you usually bet them or you try to stay away from them? Because the over
I
under on
bet
this
them
game is
depending on who's
214 and a
playing.
half.
It's 214 and a half. Where's my
Yeah.
calculator? Hold on. 214 and a half. I don't need a calculator. What we got? 25 points a quarter per team plus an extra like 5 points. I almost want to go over only because it's Madison Square Garden. I personally believe Zach LaVine is going for 30. Zach LaVine or DeRozan is probably going to go for 30 tomorrow. You got to think. Bulls are playing in New York. They lost the last game on an air ball from DeRozan, even though he traveled, but he airballed anyway. DeRozan airballed the last second shot that could have tied the game, right? The last game that they played in Chicago, I want to say. So now the game's in New York, way better atmosphere, way different. The Bulls have been playing really good. The Knicks have been playing okay. I think the game goes to overtime, but I also think the game goes over 214. I think first quarter's over 60 easily.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. See, me personally,
I think first quarter over 60.
I only bet on over unders and spreads. No, I only bet on over unders and money lines on my gimme prop section on Birds of a Feather. But
Mm-hmm.
when you
Mm-hmm.
get down to the nitty gritty on it and start betting, quarter points or personal props, you really see that like there's money in this. There's money everywhere, and you can bet on
Oh, it's,
literally anything. You could bet on who wins the opening tip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Yesterday, I put $50 on a parlay, right? I took the Brooklyn Nets money line against my own Knicks. Knicks fans, I know y'all hate me, but whatever. I got a family to feed, right? I got Knicks. I had Nets money line, right? I had Nets money line. I had Purdue College money. Purdue College first half money line. I forget who they play. Forget who they played, but I took them first half money line with the Nets on a parlay. I also took the Portland Trailblazers first half money line. They played the Pistons. And I took Duke money line first half. Because when you're looking at these games, you got to look at yourself and you got to think, okay, yeah, Duke is number one in the country right now, but they're playing Ohio State in Ohio. This is Duke's first game playing in a big stadium like Ohio State, right? Those
and they're
first
led by a
half, first
freshman.
quarter, exactly. So you got to think, man, those first half games really matter because when you if for anybody who's played sports, right? Anybody who's played football, baseball, basketball, soccer, I'm gonna leave it at that, right? Baseball, football, you know it's about increments. You're not gonna sit there and say, okay, we gotta win this game, go play. Woo! No. Hey guys, it's the first quarter. This is what we're gonna do. Boom. And whatever happens, happens. Now you go to the second quarter. Hey guys, this is what we're gonna do. If it doesn't, the first 2 minutes of the second quarter doesn't go as planned, what does most coaches do? Timeout, right? Timeout. This is not what we planned. Let's run it back. Sometimes betting on your team to win just the first half or just the first quarter is way more less stressful than betting on the entire 48 minutes of the basketball game.
Exactly.
Yep.
So if you want to take a team, like neither one of us got a dog in the fight, but you see, a star player may be out, like the Thunder and the Grizzlies. They're playing
Mm-hmm.
at Memphis, and I think the spread is 9.5. So
Right.
they're favoring the Grizzlies. No, they're favoring the Thunder by 9.5.
Yep.
What you think about a game like that? Because 9.5, that's a lot of points there. But the Grizzlies are
Mm-hmm.
suffering mightily without Ja.
Yeah. And that's what, and this is where it comes in. Sometimes you just have to look at the facts, right? Who, like, if you ask a random person, yo, who plays for the Memphis Grizzlies? Half couldn't even say Jean Morant because they don't know. I mean, half of them. If you're not a sports guy, you don't know Jean Morant plays for them. OKC's going to cover this game plus 9.5 for a fact, I believe. Jean Morant is the best player on the floor if he's playing, and if he's not playing, Shy. I know some people say Shay or Shy. Shy is the best player on the floor by far. A lot of people like Dylan Brooks, but I just don't think he has the it factor. I,
I
I
love
like
Shy's game.
Shy and
Yeah,
Lucas Dort.
his
Oh,
game is
Shy is
so
different,
smooth
bro.
now.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, when Shy got traded to the Thunder, I think I cried, bro. Like for real. Like what? You took him away from the Clippers. You took him away from Doc. You took him away from Lou Will and Montrezl Harrell. He was doing good. Everybody thought they could possibly beat the Warriors. I mean, I think they lost 4-1 in that series, a couple years ago.
Was that the Patrick Beverly series? Hello? You went out again. Hello? I can't hear you, man.
Yo,
Yo. Yeah.
yo. Dang, I
All
don't know
right.
what happened. Somebody did call me. Maybe that's what knocked it out.
It's all good. It's all good. So, like we were talking about Shy, how smooth his
Yeah.
game is and whatnot, and getting traded. Do you think there's a benefit to, especially a lead guard, having his own team and that affecting obviously just the play of the teammates? Because like I said, I saw OKC live. Shy was out, and what's his name, Josh Giddey. Seeing him truly control that offense, they hung with the Hawks for a little bit with him being kind of that lead big guard, big forward type thing in that Luka role. Do you think that his game is kind of diminished sitting next to Shy?
I'm gonna say this, bro. Being a basketball player myself, I do think it limits your role. But I think that's the beauty of the game, right? How can you adjust to your situation? I mean, that's why I hate to say it, but that's why people think LeBron is the GOAT. That's why people think Jordan is the GOAT. That's why people think Kobe is the GOAT. How do they adjust to their situation? Kobe didn't come in number one. He didn't come in the number one guy. He definitely didn't. He played, I think he came off the bench his rookie year, right?
Yeah, for his first 2.5 years, really.
Yeah, he came off the bench. You gotta look at Michael Jordan. I mean, he started his first couple years, but he damn sure wasn't winning. Look at LeBron. He started his first years and did not win at all. I mean, he was losing the whole time, right? That's the beauty of basketball. How can you adjust to your situation? And I think that's where Shy excels. I just think I I almost 100% agree that Josh Giddey is being outshined by Shy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to think, bro. This is Shy, bro. Like, this dude was on the Clippers. I want to say this might have been his second year out there and made it to the playoffs and beat the Warriors one game. They beat the Warriors. They had the league worried for a little bit. For one game, they had them worried, bro. I don't know if you remember that, but
No,
for
no, no.
one game,
I remember that. I remember that. That's the whole. Y'all know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant, right?
yeah, exactly. And it's like, yo, this kid could play. Like, he's good. And of course, when you're playing next to a guy like that, you get outshined. Not outshined, but you might get overlooked, right? I mean, it just happens. I mean, look at the Knicks right now. I hate to bring up the Knicks again every time. Let's not do the Knicks. Let's do your team. Let's do the Hawks. Look at the Hawks. How good is Kevin Herter and Bogdanovich? How good are they? They're very good, bro. They're very good players. But
Couldn't pick him
because
out of a
Trey
lineup.
Young is in charge, right?
Couldn't pick him
Right?
out of a lineup. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying?
The
Like
casual
Kevin
fan is
Herter.
only going to know the superstar of that team.
Exactly, bro. You got to think Kevin Herter, Bogdanovich, Lou Will, DeAndre Hunter, who's my favorite player on the Hawks, by the way. DeAndre Hunter is my favorite player on the Hawks right now. If these guys were on other teams, like I couldn't even think about it, bro. Like,
So, we talked about like adjusting the game and whatnot. So, speaking of adjusting, I know basketball is usually your forte, but I know you do a lot of NFL betting. So, what do you look for when you betting on NFL games?
NFL is tough because I never played football. Like I've played two-hand touch on the street, obviously, but never played professional football. Or not professional, but never played organized football a day in my life. But we all know football is a little easier to bet on than basketball. There's not as many possessions. The points are different. When I'm looking at football, I almost keep the same thing. I like to look at who's playing at home, how those teams play at home, who's injured and who's healthy. That plays a very big part in football because your point guard being out in basketball is way different from your quarterback being out. Could you agree
Well,
with that?
yeah, 100%. A quarterback moves the line. There's not too many
Right.
positions in football in which, and like I play football, so like kind of the mindset that you bring toward basketball is what I bring toward football, and that might be why I'm so bad at betting at it. But just like when your quarterback is out, a quarterback will move the line. Most teams when they're playing at home, you lay 3 points down. You know what I'm saying? Well, the home team gets 3 points, and you base the spread off there. When your quarterback's out, that'll move the line one way or other. It'll take away a home spread. You know what I'm saying? A whole
Yep.
line might move 3 points depending on the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like uh somebody like Baker Mayfield being out might only be like a point because his backup Case Keenum is slightly worse than him as compared to someone like Kyler Murray. When he's been out these past 3 games for Case Keenum, the line has moved drastically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but your right guard being out probably won't even affect the line at all. You know what I'm saying? For the
Right.
Titans, somebody like Derrick Henry, because he's the focal point of the offense, yeah, that's gonna move the line. But for the average team, a running back being out usually doesn't move the line.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, bro. And that's why I said that's one of the things I look at. Like, who's at home, who's injured, right? Injury is like really it should be who's injured, then who's at home, right?
Mm.
And you almost always have to look at what the teams did the game before, whether it was last week, whatever, because football is another sport. It's about consistency. You know, our guys throwing the ball accurately. Like I can give you a great example. I lost money on Monday and I was pissed about it. The Seahawks should not have lost to the Redskins.
Oh, at
Not
all.
just because I'm an NFC East fan and I want the Giants to win and I need all those teams to lose. No. Russell Wilson literally was throwing the ball away from his players. Literally had wide open tight end and was throwing the ball behind him or in front of him. It was bad. It was horrible, bro. It was bad and it was horrible. And I took the bet banking that Russell Wilson was playing and he was healthy. But guess what? He played unhealthy and they lost the game because of it. It
And
was a
you get
what, two
you get
point
no
loss?
credit. You get no credit for playing unhealthy. And I understand football is like that tough sport where you got to fight through stuff and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I usually, like not a lot of people know about me. I tried to walk on at Georgia State because the year I graduated, 2011, was their first year of a football program. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I
Yeah.
went out there and I saw these dudes and I was like, y'all niggas real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah. It'd be like that sometimes. You go out there
it,
and be like, okay, these niggas ain't playing.
yeah, like y'all niggas real. Because you see the hits, you see those type things, and like if you're having a bad mental day, if you Russell Wilson broke his whole finger on his throwing hand, you get
Yeah,
no credit for that. They only look at the production of it. So
that's true.
playing unhealthy doesn't benefit the team nor the better in this situation.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And it sucks because Monday night, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like once the Seahawks got that block extra point for two, I'm like, oh, we got this shit. We good. I'm gonna go to sleep. And I woke up and I lost money. It was
Oh,
bad.
was it
Yep.
parlayed?
So I actually took the Seahawks as a straight bet. I want to say off the top of my head, I want to say I lost $200 on that game. I think I put 200 on Seahawks money line because
Oh,
I just knew that Heineke, who's from the North Side, by the way, went to high school on the North Side. If people didn't know, Taylor Heineke went to Grayson. Um, I didn't think he was gonna play like that, and he didn't play that great. They just played that much better and won by 2 points.
Yeah, just a bad 2-point conversion. Well, if we look at tomorrow night's game, Cowboys at the Saints, they're laying 4 points down on the Cowboys, which is crazy because that's a 7-point swing. They're basically
Yeah.
saying like eating up the home court, eating up the home field advantage, and giving the Cowboys 4 points. It kind of makes sense because both teams played last Thursday, had a week off. What you think about that spread? Because to me, that I think that's a little high.
So let me tell you what I think is going on with this game. To be honest, I literally have in my notes Cowboys all day. That's what I got. And the reason why I have it, the Cowboys lost.
Is all day.
Yes. So Cowboys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. Yeah. So I got Cowboys all day. They need a win. I took Raiders money line on Thanksgiving. We all knew Cowboys really could have won that game, but they didn't.
I was about to
And
say that's a
today, or
bold bet right there, man.
man, listen, Raiders money line only because the Cowboys will continue to be the Cowboys. As long as I've been born watching football, the Cowboys will remain the Cowboys. And they will lose important games that they don't think is important, in my opinion, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, what were they? I could be 100% wrong, but I want to say they were 7-3 before that game.
Mm-hmm.
Seven
7-3
and
at the
two,
time.
whatever. 7-3 before the game. They didn't think the game was important. They thought they were going to win. Guess what, Cowboys? You lost because you guys are the Cowboys, right? Tomorrow, I think they win. I think they cover the spread. I think they win by 14 or more. I might put a -7 bet for these Cowboys tomorrow. I don't know. Like I really
Double
think they're
spread,
going to win by more than a touchdown.
double spread, double the odds.
That's what I think is going to happen, bro. Like you got to think. We have Trevor Siemian starting at quarterback for the Saints. How many people know who Trevor Siemian is?
Well,
Nobody.
see, the thing about it is they got what's the white boy from BYU? Taysom
You're
Hill. They got
talking about Taysom
Taysom
Hill.
Hill. Yeah, they got Taysom Hill taking first team reps. So I think it's going to be some mix of both of them playing in this game at some point.
And what I think, this is what I think. You want me to be honest?
Mhm.
So Trayvon Diggs is probably like, what do they call it? What do they call it when like dogs are like sweating at the mouth? What do they call it?
Oh, rabbit dog.
Like Trayvon Diggs is like, yes, please give me Taysom Hill. Please let Taysom Hill start. Bro, I want to say 2 interceptions tomorrow. Like if there was a prop bet for how many interceptions per team, 2 interceptions for the Cowboys tomorrow. That's the
Well,
way
see,
I
the only,
feel.
the only props they got up for interceptions is for Dak. They don't even have them up for Simeon or Hill.
Yeah, Dak's not throwing any. Zach will throw 0 interceptions tomorrow, guaranteed. He's not throwing the interception tomorrow.
Oh,
He's not.
so the one
I
and a
don't
half
think he will.
prop, you're definitely taking the under on that one.
I would take the under on the interceptions on Dak because he's going to play a perfect game. Dak is a very smart player. People confuse his talent with how smart he is, right? He's a smart guy. He's a black quarterback that already gets the lashes of a black quarterback as usual. Then he plays for the Cowboys, and you got to think he has a lot of dudes to throw it to. If I'm not mistaken, I think CeeDee Lamb is coming back this game. Am I wrong about that?
He should be back. Amari's the one that's a little questionable for this game.
I think Amari's coming back. I think Amari's going to play tomorrow. In my opinion, I think he's going to play. And I mean, you got to think the Cowboys, they like really need a win. Like they need a win. Like it's not like, oh, they're gonna win or what. No, they need to win this game. And I really think I think the Cowboys are gonna blow this game out the water. But for the people who love this betting thing, New Orleans +5 is not a bad bet, in my opinion. I would not be mad if someone took New Orleans +5. I would not be mad about it.
All right. And speaking of receivers, I got CD as a prop bet. I got CD Lamb at the 65 and a half, 63 and a half receiving yards. I was taking the over on that, and it seems like you tend to agree on that one.
I definitely agree with you on that because CeeDee Lamb, I want to say he sat out the last 2 games, right?
No. He got injured in the first quarter of last week's game, got a concussion, but he got cleared earlier this week.
Okay.
In the Raiders game, he got out in the first quarter. Amari's missed the last 2 games.
Oh, that's what I meant. I'm tripping. I said 2 games. It's because it feels like Thanksgiving feels like 2 weeks to me, bro. My bad.
It does because
Definitely.
they didn't play on Sunday and now they're playing on a Thursday night. It feels like more
Yeah,
time.
it kind of threw me off. Yeah, it kind of threw me off. But no, CeeDee Lamb will have over 65 yards tomorrow. I feel like that's definitely a lock, in my opinion. I mean, he's a young dude that didn't play last week, that got kicked out the game the previous week for being injured. He's gonna catch a lot of passes tomorrow, guaranteed on a Thursday.
Well, staying in the NFC East, if we're looking at take the Eagles and the Jets and laying 6.5 points on the Eagles, what you think about that game? Because I think that's a big spread, even though the Jets are absolutely terrible.
So I'm gonna tell you this. As a Giants fan, I hate the Eagles with all my heart. Okay, I cannot stand the Eagles.
Got to get that out the way first.
I had to get that out the way first. What I'm about to say next has nothing to do with my hate for the Eagles. This is just facts, right? The Eagles just lost to the Giants. Arguably the worst team in the NFL right now, the Giants are. Yeah, their defense is great, blah, blah, who cares, whatever. I don't need no sympathy. The Giants suck, bro. We suck bad, right?
You're a
We
bigger man than
just
me because
beat
I
the
can't admit that
Eagles.
about the Falcons yet.
I mean, the Falcons are different, though. Like, you got to think who the Falcons play against. You got to think what they're like. Y'all have been to a Super Bowl, not recently, but recently. Like, the Giants, though, are on a different level of trash. Like, we suck so bad, bro. It's so bad how we suck, bro. Like, we literally hired the Cowboys offensive coordinator at the beginning of the year, and the year's not over, and we already fired him. The Giants are a horrible organization when it comes to football purposes. History, we're amazing, right? 2 Super Bowls against Tom Brady, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? The Jets are probably going to win. I think the Jets will cover the spread, and the game is going to go under on that game, in my opinion.
Wow. That's a good one. See, for me, the Eagles are right in the middle of the playoff hunt. They absolutely need this game because they're not catching Dallas in the standings to get the NFC East. So they're looking toward the wild card. They hold the tiebreakers over Carolina and Atlanta. So a win would push them damn near right behind Washington, who they faced twice. They can't afford to lose this game. Honestly, hell, they couldn't afford to lose the Giants game. So you think that the Jets not only cover but win?
And that's what I think. I think the Jets are going to cover. I think they're going to win. And let me tell you why. When the Jets played the Bengals, and the Bengals were going to win, and everything was great, and then the Jets had this backup. I can't remember his first name, but his last name is White. Jets backup quarterback brings the Jets back, and they beat the Bengals like out of nowhere. It was crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Jets fucked my parlay up last week. They beat the Texans and fucked my parlay up, right? Like they won that game. I didn't even watch the highlights to that game. The Eagles lost to the Giants, bro. Like, what did I say? I bet look. Who's playing at home, right? What did that team do last week?
Yeah.
Right? Right? And who's injured? That's what I look at. I look at who's playing at home, who did we play last week, and who's injured. Zach Wilson is back for the second week. I think last week was his first week back off of injury. Rusty or not, they won the game. This week is his second week back off of injury. They have nothing to lose for real, right? Eagles are still battling for playoff, whatever you want to call it. The Jets are at home. Zach Wilson isn't injured anymore. And last week, the Eagles lost to the fucking Giants, bro. Like, that's my favorite team is the Giants, but y'all lost to the Giants. It was 13-6. Like, worst game ever played, probably, I would say.
Now, see,
Jets are going to win the game.
I'm a huge believer in the transitive property doesn't necessarily work in sports. Just because 2 teams played each other and you lost to one team or you beat another team, you're better or worse than that team. But I do
Right.
understand what you're saying about the whole following the trends of, you know, you played a bad team and had a poor offensive output. That's probably going to carry over to a team that's built very similarly with a young quarterback and
Exactly.
a very stout defense. So I can
Like,
see how you got there. It's just for me, I would take the Jets only because I think 6.5 points is a lot for this Eagles team. I don't think offensively they're going to separate from any other team like that. And unless Wilson has like a complete mind fart and throws a couple pick sixes, I don't see that many points being put on the board. So I probably would take the Jets, but not the money line. I can't take them to win outright.
and let me rephrase what I said. So Greg is not taking the Jets money line tomorrow, guaranteed. Or not tomorrow, but this weekend. I'm not taking the Jets money line. But if I had to take a bet, I would rather take the Jets over the Eagles.
Got you.
Yeah.
But
So
I
that's not like my pick of the week, but I would take them over the Eagles just because the Eagles literally just lost to the Giants. Devontae Smith threw his helmet at the bench. He's mad at his team. They're young as hell. The Eagles never run the ball. Jets are probably going to win this game. I mean, I could almost I really feel like the Jets are going to win.
yeah, I'll take the Jets, but give me them 6.5. I need those.
Yeah,
I
I
need
like the
those.
6.5. I like Jets +6. Jets +6 might be one of my bets tomorrow, or one of my bets this weekend.
Okay, well, another one I was looking to bet on, and I love him because he's electric, is Lamar and the Ravens versus the Steelers, who were just coming off a pathetic outing against the Bengals. Like, looked like they never actually got off the bus. The Ravens are getting 4 points on that one. What you think about it?
So I got the Ravens money line. I got the Ravens to cover the spread. I also have the over on the game.
You think it's going to go over 44? You think they're going to blow them out again? You think they're going to blow them out like
I
the Bengals?
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen. I genuinely think, and I'm going to write this down. That way I might bet on it this weekend. So look, I think first half of the game, the Ravens are going to be up. I would say, I don't know. I'll give them 14-7 at first half. Like, that's what I think, right? 14-7 Ravens first half. That's half the 44 technically right there. I think in the second half, the Steelers, like third quarter, Steelers might run it up. They might get a touchdown and a defensive stop and maybe a field goal or something like that. And then the fourth quarter, it might be a shootout. It might be like 2 touchdowns between two teams. I don't know. But I just see the game going over. I see the Ravens winning by like 6 points, like by a touchdown. And definitely the Ravens winning. Because the Steelers, they're just Ben just don't got it no more, bro. I mean, he just don't got it no more, bro.
No,
Ben
100%.
is done.
It's over for him. It's over for him.
Because last week was the game. Last week was the game for the Steelers to see if they had it still, and they didn't do it against their division rival, like the Bengals. Like, bro,
A team
like
they
you're
used
not
to
gonna do it.
big bro. Like they used to
Like,
bully
bro,
this team, bro.
if you think about this shit, bro. If you can't beat Joe Burrow, why in the fuck would you think you could beat Lamar Jackson? Like, Lamar Jackson has to be the most disrespected quarterback of all time. I don't want to hear about this year, last year. Lamar Jackson is the most disrespected quarterback of all time. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does. He's literally, in my opinion, playing by himself and he's winning games. Like, yeah, he lost a couple games, but he's playing by himself, bro. It's
Yeah,
just him.
that whole team is they when you talk about like taking the injuries into account, that whole team, like their over under total for the win total for the season went down after week 1. They lost 2 dudes to ACL in practice. Like
That's what I'm trying to tell
that
you.
whole team is injured.
Like the Ravens are so good, but they're not favored to be good. So this 4.5 points, like Ravens are gonna kill that. Ravens are winning. Like last week, they played horrible. Oh, we're in trouble. No, they beat the Browns. In the conversation next week. That's what Lamar Jackson's thinking. Like every game Lamar Jackson won in the beginning of the season, everybody thought they were gonna lose, and they came back and won. I want to say it was Raiders. What game? Week 2 or something like that. They came back and won in overtime or something crazy like that.
Nah, that was the Chiefs. They lost to the Raiders, but then they beat the Chiefs.
Okay, that's what it was. Right. They beat the Chiefs. Like, nobody saw that coming, bro.
Nah. I ain't even gonna lie. I definitely had the Chiefs on that one. And then but going forward on fourth down, they had some nuts there. Like, I think overall,
say that again. You said fourth down. What?
Going forward on fourth down in that game against the Chiefs, they had some big ones there.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. I feel like the new school football, like, I love it, bro. Go for that, bro. We're playing Madden, bro. Let's play Madden. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's have fun. You feel me, bro? Like, go for it. What's the point? You about to punt the ball for what? Let's go for it.
Nah, 100%. I really appreciated your time today, man. Like I said, I'm gonna link at you in the bio on your Facebook and your Instagram if you want to shout it out one more time here before we head off. But once again, man, I really appreciate you coming through and sharing your knowledge and wisdom. This is from somebody who actually, does it and is really good at it. You know what I'm saying? I play pretend. I hit 62% on my NBA picks, and I'm happy about it, but I ain't making no real money because I'm not really looking at the odds. I'm just betting, play money.
Right.
From somebody who actually does it, hearing your insight, hearing how you break down the game, it's really, really interesting. And I really appreciate the time coming through, man.
Hey, Q, look, man, anytime, bro. I would love to do this anytime, to be honest. I would love to do it, man, anytime. My Instagram is __ the middleman. Tag me, at me, friend request me, whatever it's called. Facebook is Gregory Antoine. Hit Q up if you can't find me. He'll link you with me. I'll hit you up. But yeah, bro, this was fun. This was definitely fun, bro. This is literally my first time doing this, so I definitely enjoy it, man. I appreciate the opportunity, bro.
Of course, gotta do it again, man. All right, I'll catch you later, man.
All right, then, bro. You be safe, man.
You be easy. Stay blessed.
All right, yes, sir.
El Chapo, looking like I hit the lotto. I want a hottie like mulatto. I'm on hand, she on Moscato. I'm in them good till tomorrow. I'm a robber for the Neros. Yo, little laws, I'ma put you on payroll. You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party, yeah. Papa Corona, she moving the body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency. I wake up early every morning. Thank the Lord and get the bag. Hustle hard, get the cash. Stack first, then I'm showing my ass. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency.
My babies, that's who I grind for. That's who I do it for. Like the Navy, that's who I'm toting that iron for. Keep one in the head like a thought, nigga. Yeah, I fuck with Ty, he a boss, nigga. Foot on their neck, I exhaust, nigga. Niggas cross me, so I cross, nigga. No stripper was lit last night. 500, what it cost, nigga. Shit was really legit last night. Had them hoes at the house, nigga. Instagram, Snapchat, Triller. What they say about Jay, he a go-getter. Used to have them fat sacks in the grove, nigga. Late nights, early morning, my dough, nigga.
You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party, yeah. Papa Corona, she moving the body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20